If you thought Shedeur Sanders was going to fade quietly into the background of the Cleveland Browns quarterback room, just another rookie sitting behind veterans, waiting his turn like a good little backup, you clearly haven't been paying attention, because yesterday at practice, in front of Browns owner Jimmy Haslam, Shedeur didn't just show up. He showed out. And I mean missiles, deep balls, lasers, back shoulder fades that looked like they were guided by GPS. It wasn't a warm-up. It wasn't walk-through tempo. This was a statement, and every single person on that field, coaches, scouts, teammates, and yes, even Haslam himself, felt it. If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed. You could hear the pop of the ball when it left his hand. You could see defenders turn their heads mid-route like, wait, where did that even come from? You could practically feel the temperature shift, like the Browns' backup quarterback just became a legitimate threat to shake up the entire depth chart. And let's talk about the timing, because this isn't just Shedeur having a good day. This is Shedeur, fresh off an oblique injury, coming back early, ahead of schedule, and looking like he hasn't missed a single snap. The throws were crisp, the decision-making was surgical, and the confidence, off the charts. This wasn't a rookie happy to be here. This was a young quarterback marking his territory. Now let's rewind for a second. Remember just a few weeks ago when the Browns handed the starting job to Joe Flacco? Yes, that Joe Flacco as a safe option for Week 1? Everyone nodded politely. It made sense on paper. Veteran stability, experience, yada, yada, yada. But even then, the whispers had already started. What about Shedeur? What about the 5-star prep resume? The big-time college throws? The poise, the leadership, the pedigree? What about the fact that, despite carrying a famous last name, he had made a point to carve out his own lane, through grit, through film study, through blood and sweat performance? What about the fact that, name aside, Shedeur just might be the best quarterback on this roster? Well, after this practice, those whispers are starting to sound a lot more like chants. And you best believe Jimmy Haslam was paying attention. You don't stay on the sidelines while your potential future franchise quarterback launches a 45-yard touchdown dart over double coverage and not take notes. The man wasn't just watching, he was studying, jaw slightly clenched, eyes tracking every rep. And while no one's going to confirm what he was thinking, you can imagine the internal monologue. Wait, this kid is different. And he is, because Shedeur isn't just a quarterback. He's a presence. There's something about him, calm but commanding, smooth but not soft. He doesn't have to yell to take control of a huddle. He doesn't force throws. He threads them. And his reads? Faster than the Instagram algorithm. And yet the doubters? Still circling. You know the ones. The folks saying he only got this shot because of his dad, Coach Prime. That his nil deals somehow mean he's not focused. That his rise is more marketing than merit. And Shedeur? He doesn't even blink at that, because he knows something they don't. He's already been tested. He's played in hostile stadiums. He's been targeted by defenders who wanted to make a name for themselves by lighting up Deion's son. He's taken late hits, thrown from dirty pockets, fought through injuries, and still delivered over and over again. His entire college career was one long litmus test, and he passed every single time with a calmness that most NFL vets still haven't figured out. That mental toughness is not fake. It's not coached. It's in him. And if you watched that Browns practice yesterday, you saw it firsthand. The poise in the pocket, the tempo, the way he reset after a missed route, not flustered, not frustrated, just eyes forward, next play. The man is 21 going on 31. And the best part? He's not even in a rush. That's what separates Shedeur from every other rookie QB right now. He's not desperate. He's not begging for reps or throwing tantrums over depth charts. He's calculated, controlled. He knows the moment will come, his moment. And when it does, it's not going to be a rookie debut. It's going to be a takeover. And the Browns? They're starting to feel it. Don't be surprised if this whole Flacco starts Week 1 plan becomes a week-to-week thing. Because when a quarterback throws like Shedeur just did in front of the owner, You don't keep that on the shelf for long. Not if you care about winning. Not if you care about the future. And remember, Cleveland isn't just playing for this season. They've got 2 first-round picks next year. A clean slate. A chance to either build around a young QB or hit the reset button again. And how they handle Shedeur now could literally define the next 5 years of this franchise. That's the weight of the moment. And Shedeur? He's handling it like it's nothing. He still shows up first at the facility. Still grinds film until the janitors are locking up. Still finds time to balance a booming personal brand without letting it eclipse the game, because that's the part people miss. The NIL money, the social media following, the custom jewelry and content shoots, that's all noise. It's business. But the work behind the scenes, the 5 a.m. wake-ups, the walk-throughs, the one-on-one film sessions with coaches, that's the foundation. And Shedeur's is made of granite. NFL scouts are already whispering that he might be one of the most NFL-ready quarterbacks in this rookie class. Not just physically, but mentally. His processing speed, his deep ball accuracy, his feel for pressure, his timing. It's not rookie stuff, it's next level. And now that he's healthy again, watch out, because the Browns can only hold him back for so long. You don't keep a Ferrari in the garage during rush hour. You don't leave talent like this sitting idle while your offense sputters for first downs. And sure, maybe the staff wants to wait. Maybe they want Shedeur to ease in. But what if he's already ready? What if this past week of practice was just a glimpse of what's coming? What if the Browns' most explosive weapon has been standing on the sideline with a clipboard, just waiting for his chance to detonate? Because make no mistake, when that moment comes, Shedeur isn't just going to step in. He's going to steal the show. And if you don't believe that, just ask the cornerback who got torched on a go-route by a throw that never should have fit in the window. Or the defensive coach who let out a not-so-quiet damn after a no-look sideline dart during red zone drills. Or Jimmy Haslam, whose poker face cracked just a little when Shedeur hit his tight end in stride on a 30-yard strike, then calmly walked back to the huddle like it was just another Tuesday. This isn't hype. This isn't fluff. This is Shedeur Sanders, ready, waiting, and launching heat seekers in a city that's been begging for a real QB for decades. So here's the real question now. Not if Shedeur Sanders is the future of the Browns, but whether the Browns are smart enough to let him be. So what do you think? Should Shedeur get his shot this season, or should the Browns keep playing the waiting game? Let us know in the comments. Hit that subscribe and buckle up, because if this week's practice is any indication, the Shedeur Sanders era may be arriving sooner than anyone expected. And trust me, he's not here to take part. He's here to take over. Let's get one thing straight. Shedeur Sanders isn't auditioning anymore. He's declaring, because what we saw on that Cleveland practice field, that wasn't some fluke flash or rookie adrenaline rush. That was calculated. That was seasoned. That was a young quarterback putting the NFL on notice without saying a single word. And it's not just the arm. Yeah, the arm talent is real. The way the ball explodes off his hand. Clean spiral, tight window, placed exactly where it needs to be. It's already NFL tier. You could put him in a game tomorrow, and he'd look like he belonged. But that's not what sets him apart. What really separates Shedeur Sanders? It's the poise. It's how he walks into a practice where everything's on the line, his health, his place on the depth chart, his entire rookie narrative, and throws like he's been here for years. No panic, no forcing it. Just smooth command, quiet confidence, and throws that make you question why he's not the one taking first-team reps already. And look, the Browns' coaching staff is full of smart people. They know exactly what they're seeing. They know when a quarterback starts making veteran safeties look slow, you pay attention. When a rookie QB is already checking down the third reads and red zone drills, you don't ignore that. So you have to ask yourself, what exactly are they waiting for? Is it the injury? Is it the politics? Or are they just trying to protect themselves from making a bold decision too soon? Because let's not kid ourselves. This franchise needs a bold decision. The Browns have been in quarterback purgatory for what feels like a football eternity. 1 minute it's Baker, then it's Deshaun, then it's Flacco, Kenny Case, Colt, Cody, Seneca, Jacoby. Pick a name, there's a jersey for it. Cleveland's quarterback room has been a rotating door of disappointment for so long that hope itself feels like a risk. But then, Shedeur, and here's where it gets dramatic. This kid might be the one. Not the next guy. Not a solid backup. The one. He has a resume, the tools, the swagger, the calm under pressure, and the rarest trait in this league. Complete control of his own destiny. He's not just along for the ride. He's driving the damn car. Think about this. How many rookie quarterbacks, injured, unproven, still wet behind the ears, have the leverage to skip the NFL draft if they don't like their situation? That's power. That's confidence. That's Shedeur. And he earned every ounce of it. Let's talk about that injury, by the way. Oblique injuries? Nasty. Tricky. Easy to aggravate. Most guys would have said a few extra weeks, milked the recovery, played it safe. But Shedeur? Nah. He showed up early. He threw early. He dominated early. And that's not just recovery. That's a message. To the staff. To the scouts. To the veterans ahead of him. And yeah, to the owner watching from the sidelines in designer sunglasses trying to keep his cool while internally screaming, why does this kid look like an all-pro already? Because Jimmy Haslam saw it. He felt it. The sideline reaction said everything. Arms folded but posture tight. No clapping. No big grin. Just that look of restrained excitement a billionaire gets when he realizes his franchise might have stumbled into something special by accident. Because let's be real, this wasn't the Browns' master plan. Shedeur wasn't supposed to push for a QB1 this fast. They expected to ease him in, let the media cool off, let the fan base focus on Flacco, on veteran leadership, on stability. But Shedeur didn't get the memo. Because Shedeur Sanders doesn't wait for permission. He performs. He delivers. He takes the moment and makes it his. And now the Browns have a problem. A good problem, sure, but a problem nonetheless. They're stuck between what's safe and what's inevitable. Keep rolling with Flacco, and you might win a few low-scoring games. Keep the pressure down. Avoid the drama. But the ceiling? It's low. It's boring. It's not getting you out of the AFC North dogfight. Put in Shedeur and everything changes. The tempo changes. The offense opens up. The fan base ignites. The national media floods in. Suddenly you're the story. And yeah, that's scary. It's risky. But this league doesn't reward caution anymore. It rewards electricity. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is the most electrifying player on your roster, not named Myles Garrett. So how long can you really wait? Are you going to let this kid cook in practice week after week while the world watches Joe Flacco throw checkdowns on 3rd and 9? Because fans are paying attention. They saw the training camp clips. They heard the buzz. They know you can't keep hiding Shedeur once the fire's been lit. And after this last practice, that fire's an inferno. Even the veterans on the team are starting to come around. You can sense the shift, the side eyes at every spiral, the subtle nods when he hits a timing route like it's clockwork, the quiet acknowledgement from the wide receiver room that maybe, just maybe, this rookie sees the field better than the guy ahead of him. And if the locker room starts believing, it's over. You can't ignore momentum in the NFL. It's contagious. It seeps into everything. And once a quarterback starts earning belief from within, the outside world becomes noise. Shedeur is building that belief with every throw, every read, every moment where he looks like the calmest guy in a room full of chaos. And let's not forget, he's only just begun. He hasn't even started a regular season game. He hasn't had the spotlight fully trained on him. He hasn't even talked about his NFL dreams yet. But we already know it's coming. It's all coming. The question now is no longer if he's the guy. It's how much longer are the Browns going to pretend he isn't? And hey, maybe Flacco starts week 1. Maybe the Browns stick to their script. But if you think Shedeur Sanders is going to fade into the background quietly, you're dreaming. Because every practice is a campaign. Every rep is a headline. And Shedeur, he's not auditioning for Cleveland anymore. He's auditioning for the league. And they're watching. Here's the thing that's quietly keeping the Cleveland Browns coaching staff up at night. Not the schedule, not the press, not even the wild unpredictability of the AFC North. It's him, Shedeur Sanders. Because the longer he stays on the sideline, the louder the whispers get, not just from the media, not just from fans, but from inside the building. At first, it was casual. Teammates nudging each other during drills like, "Yo, did you see that throw?" Or assistants exchanging glances after a perfect 2-minute drill. But now it's more than that. Now, people are starting to say it out loud. He's ready. And you can feel it. You can feel it in the way Shedeur carries himself. Not cocky, not performative, just composed. Like he knows something everyone else is just figuring out. He's not here to wait. He's here to win. And let's be honest, he's made incredibly hard for anyone to ignore him. He hasn't just practiced well. He's outperformed expectations again and again and done it with such mechanical consistency that it's become impossible not to notice. It's not just the flashy deep balls, though let's be real, those have been gorgeous. It's the footwork, the anticipation, the command in the huddle. This isn't the rookie you keep wrapped in bubble wrap. This is the guy you build the franchise around. But if you're the Browns, here's your dilemma. What do you do when your QB3 suddenly starts looking like QB1, but you already made the safe move? Because Flacco's already been named the starter. The plan was supposed to be stability. Keep things clean. Let the old vet run the show while the young guys get their reps and develop. But now, that entire plan is unraveling in real time, and Shedeur is throwing spirals straight through the middle of it. And don't forget, this is a franchise desperate for a new era. A clean slate, an identity. They've been through the wash and rinse cycle of false hope more times than we can count. Every quarterback promised something. None delivered. Until now. Because for the first time in a long time, there's someone on the roster who doesn't just show potential, he lives it. And he does it all while the cameras roll, the expectations rise, and the pressure thickens like fog around him. Most rookies, they crumble under that kind of spotlight. But Shedeur, he glows. There's a reason scouts are already whispering about him in draft circles, even though he might not declare. There's a reason other NFL front offices are watching Browns practices like it's must-see TV. Because if Cleveland somehow fumbles the situation and lets Shedeur go underutilized, there will be no shortage of teams lining up to make him their franchise guy. And if you think that pressure isn't reaching the front office, think again. Jimmy Haslam is no stranger to noise, but this is different. This isn't just fans calling into radio shows. This is his own quarterback lighting up practice in front of him, making plays that look less like a rookie preview and more like a playoff preview. And now he has to decide, does he stick to the script or does he lean into the future? Because here's what we know. The second Shedeur touches the field in a real game, and it's coming, everything changes. The offense opens up. The tempo shifts. The sidelines come alive. The energy changes. And don't underestimate that. That energy, that's what separates teams stuck in mediocrity from those that punch above their weight. That's what ignites a locker room. And Shedeur, he's already done it once in college. And he's starting to do it again now. Let's rewind just for a second to Colorado. When Shedeur stepped onto that field wearing his dad's name but refusing to ride his dad's legacy, people said he wouldn't last. Too hyped, too flashy, too much pressure. And what did he do? He put up 500 yards in his debut. He silenced critics with poise, not just numbers. He turned a team with zero national relevance into a full-blown phenomenon overnight. Now imagine that happening in Cleveland, because the Browns don't just need a quarterback. They need a face, someone to lead, to rally, to inspire belief in a city that's been drowning in doubt for years. Someone who doesn't just throw touchdowns, but turns the entire narrative around. And honestly, there's no one better positioned to do that than Shedeur Sanders. He's not just a quarterback. He's a brand. And yes, that comes with pressure, but it also comes with leverage. The kind of leverage that makes you immune to certain rules. Shedeur isn't waiting around to be developed. He's making it clear with every throw, every film session, every practice rep. He's the guy. The only thing left is for the Browns to realize it before someone else does. Now, let's be clear. No one's suggesting you throw a rookie into fire just to please the fans. This isn't about Twitter clout or preseason hype. This is about performance. And if your backup quarterback is outplaying your starter in every visible metric, it becomes malpractice to ignore it. And let's not act like the Browns haven't done this dance before. They know what it's like to mismanage talent, to wait too long, to hesitate when boldness was needed. But Shedeur isn't the kind of player you treat like a maybe. He's a now. And the longer they stall, the more obvious that becomes. Every day that he practices, it gets harder to justify keeping him sidelined. Every throw, every perfect read, every eye-popping drill, that's another grain of sand falling to the hourglass of Flacco's time as starter. Eventually, maybe in week 4, maybe sooner, the Browns are going to have to face the music. And when they do, Shedeur won't be stepping into the spotlight. He'll be reclaiming it. Because that's the thing about his journey. He's never been just another athlete. He's been watched, judged, praised, and critiqued since he first touched the football. Every game has been a microscope. Every pass a referendum on his last name. And he still rose. Not because of who his dad is, but because of who he is. And now here he is, standing on the edge of something massive. The Browns may have drafted a prospect, but they might have uncovered a phenomenon. And they have to ask themselves, are we ready for that? Because once he starts, there's no going back. No pretending he's not the future. No more we're easing him in. No more Flacco. No more excuses. It'll be the Shedeur Sanders era. And Cleveland will never be the same again.